Hey everybody, so for you bikers out there, whenever you go on a trip or even just for a ride, many of you will carry some things with you. I tend to carry a lot of stuff with me. I like to be better prepared, although sometimes that hasn't saved my ass in the past anyway. But I just want to show you what I keep in my saddlebags. Now this is stuff that is always in my saddlebags, whether I'm going for just, 1 hour or if I'm going on a 10-day trip. That way these things are always in there. I don't need to keep unpacking and packing them. They always stay there. So let's start with this guy here. By the way, I got these saddlebags from a company called Tsukiyu in Japan, and they were able to match color my bike pretty good. I like them. They were fantastic. Check them out. So, in order to save room in my house, I always leave my chaps on my bike. Now, because I live in Canada, I always have heated gear in my bike. This is my heated jacket. Was kind of folded nice. There, so I keep my heated jacket in this bag. I also keep my heated gloves in this side. Even when you go on a trip, you don't know what kind of weather you're going to hit. It could get a little cool. I've gone down the west coast in Washington and Oregon before in the middle of summer, and I had my heated gear on because the effects of the ocean was very cool to me anyway. Always keep just a rag in my bag. Get dew or rain on your seat, you can wipe it off before you climb on. Hotels always hate it when you use their nice white towels to do that, and I totally understand that. Now, I always keep a pair, I call these boat shoes. I got these things, I don't even remember where. Got them cheap somewhere. They're just a slip-on shoe. That way you don't have to wear your riding boots if you're in your hotel room or if you're camping or something. These things have obviously seen better days, but it's just something I can slip on. Maybe I have a pair of shorts, I'm heading off to the pool or the hot tub, whatever you want. It's something you can walk around in. Now, rather importantly, a first aid kit. Anybody who's ridden a bike knows that these can be invaluable, from things like blisters to, if any of you have witnessed a crash, obviously something you want to have in there. Always keep one. Zip ties. You never know when you need to strap down a cable or do something. These things are invaluable. Now these are little straps that you put on the bottom of your pants, and they go under your boots, and they keep your pants from flying up to your knees if you're not wearing chaps or something. You never know, sometimes you just like to ride in jeans and you don't want them flapping around. Something from days gone by, a map of Colorado and Wyoming. I did a trip down there with my brother a couple years ago. I actually forgot that was in there, but hey, you never know when you don't have cell service. Now, plastic bag with a hole in it. Why the hell would I have that? Well, I like to travel with some extra nuts and bolts. I was having issues with my saddlebags. I used to break these mounts over here quite often, and I ended up having to tie them up with a piece of rope, so I got used to carrying bolts and washers in my bag. The only other thing I have in here is one of those old cigarette adapters. This came with something I had bought, and I believe it was the remote control for my GoPros. And I thought, you know what, I don't actually have an adapter for this, but I thought I'd throw it in there just because I didn't know what else to do with it. So that's what I keep in this saddlebag. Now, let's take a look at what we got on the other side. So before we head off to the other saddlebag here, obviously that plastic bag tore apart. So now I'm going to have nuts and bolts rolling around there. I've got this plastic container, and all it is, it's a small one that a bunch of deck screws came in. And I'm just going to throw those nuts and bolts and loose things in here just so they're not rolling around, maybe causing some damage. So sometimes these old plastic containers can be very useful. Okay, so let's take a look at this saddlebag. Now this is the one I usually access the most, so I keep most of my day-to-day stuff in there. Power pack. Always make sure it's fully charged before you go anywhere on a long trip. This thing half saved my behind before it got me closer to home, so my tow truck trip was cheaper. Usually have a couple different pairs of riding gloves. I've got some shorter ones for those hot days when you want maybe the air to blow up your sleeves. I've got these ones. These are a Rocket brand. I've had these since I started riding 13, 14 years ago. Very comfortable. I like these ones. They give you a little more protection, keep the wind out of your sleeve on those colder days. Keep a hat. I don't have enough hair in my head to keep the sun from burning my scalp, so of course when you get to a destination, hat, always a good idea. These are, I don't know, I call them a neck scarf. And these are the things you can stick down around your neck and pull them up over your nose and mouth. Twofold. They keep you from getting too much wind burn, keep the bugs out of your mouth. But I also find that on a windy day when you get the wind coming from the side, it blasts up my leg right into my face and I actually find it hard to breathe. These things make it easy to breathe because the wind, it blocks just enough wind that you can breathe. Riding goggles. I usually keep more than one pair. I think I have an old pair in here as well. Cold weather riding. I got a balaclava. Of course, if you want to rob a bank, comes in handy. Sunglasses for when you're just tootling around. Maybe you're in a national park or something. Or if you're just down at the beach at your destination, you always want a pair of sunglasses. Keeps the UV radiation from wrecking your eyes. Makes you look awesome. Okay, cargo nets. I usually put a travel pack on the back here, and then if I have camping gear, I'll have in a bag on the front, and I'll use these cargo nets to just kind of strap it to my travel bag. You can strap down an extra helmet, you can strap down souvenirs, you can do so much with those. They're very useful. Tool bag, let's leave that one to the end. Bandanas, you can cover your head with them, you can wipe things down. Attachment for my GoPro. For those of you who like to do videos, gotta have those to set up your cameras. These are a set of riding goggles. These are not my main ones. They're actually a pair of glasses. I put the yellow lenses in them. That way if it's night or if it's raining, I don't have to wear darkened sunglasses. These are not heated gloves, but they're warm and they're waterproof. Sometimes I can't get my heated gear on in the rain because I have a rain suit on, and I wear these. They actually work extremely well. Sunblock. For those of you who are fair-skinned like me, don't leave home without it. A journal. Sometimes you like to write down your rambling thoughts, or if you're on a big trip, you can write down, you know, what pictures were of what locations. That way it might help you mark things down when you're finished your trip. Sturgis skull cap, 2010. Actually forgot that was in there. Rain suit, no explanation needed. Ooh, I've seen better days. Flat tire repair. I have not experienced a flat tire yet. I hope to hell I never do, but just in case. Bungee cord. This is the tire repair kit. So that can will fill up your tire. This is the kit that you use to obviously fix your tire. It's got a little CO2 cartridge in it. It's got, actually it's got several. Again, haven't had to use it yet. Hope I never do, but better to be prepared and not need it than be unprepared and need it. I believe this can will fix small holes. I think it's got some glue or something in it that's supposed to fix a small hole and inflate your tire. Kind of aging myself here. Maps, Western Canada and Alberta. These have been in here for a while. I haven't always had a smartphone in my life, but so Google Maps will replace these, but hey, you never know. Maybe you lost your phone or don't have internet. This is my backup pair of riding goggles. These ones were I used to wear these all the time. They were starting to get kind of worn out. But you never know when you're going to break something, lose something. Always good to have backup plan. Tool bag, probably one of the most important things you're going to carry on your bike. My bike's not bad, but it's getting a few miles on it. And you always want to be prepared. So I've got, this is basically to undo the screw stick off the windshield because that allows me to get at other things. Couple sets of hex wrenches. A lot of the screws on my bike are hex heads. Vice grips. You know what? You can use it as a clutch lever if you ever needed to. A little bit of, I don't know, clothesline. When I finally figured out what was breaking the mounts on my saddlebags, but before that I used to carry this because I used to have to tie them up every trip. I used to have a bracket that ran down here, and I was pulling my saddlebags too tight on the bottom, which put a lot of stress on those mounts, which would cause them to snap. I took that bracket off, I put some stabilizers here, allowed the bags to move a little more. No problems yet. Wheel lock. Now obviously you don't want anybody walking away with your bike. This won't prevent them from doing it, but it makes it inconvenient. Now, why do I have this? Well, I stick this in there, lock it on, and then I put this end up on my handlebars to remind me that I have a wheel lock on, because one time I had a wheel lock on and I tried to drive away, dump my bike. Rather embarrassing. I think that was $1 at the dollar store, so yeah. Adjustable wrench. Hopefully it replaces an entire set. Couple sets of earplugs. I wear a half helmet most of the time, even when I wear a full helmet. I like to have earplugs in, because not because of the mufflers on my bike, I love the way my bike sounds, but because of the wind noise. The wind noise is deafening to me. Leatherman, sort of a Swiss Army knife type of deal. I have a couple sets of sockets, different sizes. Sometimes your belt will stretch or tighten up on you. You need to adjust your belt tightness, among other things. This one's a ratchet, but it's for screwdrivers. It's got different heads on it. That holds on a cell phone. An extra key. I have not lost my keys yet. Now, of course, if I lock this in the saddlebag, I can't get at it, but at least if I can bust open my saddlebag, I can always have an extra key for my bike. I do keep an extra key for my saddlebags in my travel pack, which does not lock, but that always goes with me anywhere I go, to a hotel. If not, I'll just take the extra keys and take them with me. Handy little tool I got from somebody. It's basically like another little Leatherman thing with pliers. Different sockets. Couple of ratcheting, or couple of hex heads for a ratchet. Sometimes that's better than trying to use, one of these things. And these two are very common for my bike. I think one's an 8mm and one's a 6. And then just a couple of little variable sockets, a couple different socket sizes. So that's what I carry for tools. It's not a big toolbox. I think I have most of the bases covered. If I need a hammer, I can find a rock. But those are the things I carry on my bike. I hardly ever take them out. That way, if they're there if I need them, and if not, well, they're not hurting anything. I have enough room in my travel pack for all my clothes and that, so I just pop that off, go to the hotel room, lock my saddlebags. Nice and simple. So that's what I carry on my bike anytime I go anywhere. If any of you have any tool suggestions that I might want to add to my tool bag, by all means let me know, because I'd hate to get stuck somewhere wishing I had a insert tool here. Alright, take care.